Just when I thought nothing can surprise me, I can see that world is full of weapons, and today we are going to talk about samurai sword, how to defend it. Can you actually survive attack with a samurai sword? Well, we will see in this video. If you saw one of our previous videos when we were talking about multiple weapons, maybe you're thinking, okay, so I watched SORUDO for a little time, so it's going to be similar to something, right? If you saw our video about baseball bat, in this case it could be very similar. If we are talking about the guy is a bigger dummy, let's say, and he's really reaching with the sword, and it's one like harder sword, then it's going to look very similar when it comes to the attack. Just like with the baseball bat. The only difference here is that it's not going to be a thudding strike, but a slash that will do pretty much a lot of damage. So how do we fight against it? But it doesn't always have to be like it, just like with the baseball bat. If we are talking about he will attack like this, it's probably because he has something like a big longsword, so that gives you a little bit better advantage to just go and then went in. If it's like a very hard sword like this one, maybe you're asking why do you even have this stuff here? Well, Pierre is the expert who brought about 5 or 6 different swords, but that's not important. The important is if you look at the weapon itself, you may think that there's no possibility that someone can attack me with a sword. Okay, not completely impossible, but the good point is if you look at the weapon, it's still something long. So fighting against longer weapons will give you the same principles, it's just a little bit different. Like I've said before, he doesn't always have to swing. It's a sword. If he can really pick and choose if he wants to swing or just be somewhere here and really cut me in multiple ways or stab. In this case, it's probably even worse than the baseball bat because it's not only like hurting me, breaking my bones, this is actually cutting me, cutting off my fingers, making me bleed, which are all the things that we don't want to be in a battle. So don't always count about swinging. It's very likely that if a person knows how to do with a sword, he can attack like this if he wants to. Some swords are even designed for attacks like this, so it's not supposed to be big swings, it's supposed to be something like this. If you would see it from my perspective, you wouldn't really want to now just get into him because there's a big mental block of like this hits me and I'm bleeding out. So like if he has a sword like this, it's not always easy just went in. It's more complicated than this. The question on your mind could be something like, what is the chances that actually someone is going to attack me with a sword? We're not saying that it's going to be as often as knives, of course, and it probably won't happen to you in a life. But now let's put it into like a context of it can actually happen, because if you saw like riots, the weapons are all sorts of there, from tubes to poles to swords. Really, during riots, definitely. Even when there's some interesting people who like to carry a samurai sword because they saw very good films, they train ninjutsu. Pierre's friend used to be the person who wears a samurai sword. Okay, so maybe in that case, or maybe even he's a swordsman, so he's carrying it in his car. Those are real things that happen, so it can occur. But even if you put it into a little bit different context, it doesn't always have to be sword. If you think about something like he's a farmer, so he has a pitchfork, it will be very similar. The same goes for some gardening tools, all the way to a broken pole. All those things will be very similar. So if you are like training for the samurai sword or swords in general, it will give you the advantage of if he has a similar weapon, I know how to fight against it. So how do we solve this problem with the sword? Well, it would be not try to solve it just facing him. Like, think about it. You are standing against a guy who has a sword. Is really my best option to be here and practice any defense that I was trying during my trainings? Because from my training I see that only he can attack like this, so I can block and strike. Like, really? Definitely not. The best option is to completely avoid this. We are still talking about he has a sword. God damn it. I have nothing. I have my bare hands. Like, this is not a battle for me to be in. If you can, you shouldn't be just facing the attacker face to face and try to fight him, of course. Try to solve it with some tactical advantages. We are talking about I cannot just face him. I need something like a lamp there. I need something like a door. Very good. Okay, use the door. Or cars. Cars are absolutely everywhere. If you can, run around the car, because he cannot, even with a long sword, catch you, but you can still spray him or do something. That's what you should do. Not try to solve it head to head, like, of course. Try to use those tactical advantages. We have many videos that will teach you how to use from doors to stairs to cars. So definitely watch them, and it will give you more sense about what we actually mean, like fighting against the sword behind the car. Well, check the video. Another point would be to try to solve it with your weapon. Of course, like, you don't want this to be bare hands to sword combat. You want to use your weapon. Even we are talking about I have baton, I have gun. When I have a longer weapon, it's different than against a knife. It doesn't seem like it, but you have even more time for actually drawing. Because here it's problem when we are standing and all of a sudden I get stabbed. It's problem. With this, I need my distance, so there's a big possibility I will be somewhere here and I will try, and now you have a little bit more time than against the knife. Although it not seems like it at first look, it really gives you more time to draw. Try it. Take something like this, take a poster knife and try it. You will see that there's a lot more time. So use your weapons. Use them, you will need them. This is not an easy fight. When we were talking about the gun, of course, it doesn't mean that every single first shot will just kill me instantly, because I will continue okay. But it's still better to use the car then. It's still better to just be shooting behind the car. If we are talking about baton, I have baton. It's very stupid to think that you're just going to hit me. Because if you look at the reach of this, okay, maybe here. You get my arms, but I go through you. So we are talking about, I have a baton. What do you think would be better option? Throwing it. Why not? If you throw a steel baton to my face, I will not just accept it and continue fighting. I will move somewhere, I will try to catch it, I don't want to get hit by it. If you hit me good, it's a good shot for you, and then it gives you the opportunity to just escape the situation. If you have it throw, even multiple things, if you have keys, mobile, we could be speaking about now you're missing mobile because you need to call someone, or head. But it's still better than to just stand there. Use your weapons. If it's shorter range, throw it. It will really get the attacker's attention, and now you have a little bit more time to escape the situation or throw it and go against him, of course. You can try to do something like an improvised shield. Of course, you'll not be carrying knight's full shield on you, but you can create something. We are talking about, if you do have the time, because you are running away from the guy with the sword, you can try to take your jacket, wrap it around your hand, and then basically use it as your shield. Or if you have a backpack, you can use similarly. You are running away, take the backpack. There's a big chance that now I will get here and you can really get into me. Even better, there's one object that is almost everywhere, not on streets, but if you are in some buildings, it's a chair. Like, think about it, you have a chair, you can actually now throw, strike with it, like we did in multiple videos, so you should definitely watch our improvised weapons video. Many references today. But that's how you fight against the sword. Try to use every advantage you have, from the doors all the way to shields. You have to. There's not many options, so use everything you can. So of course, now you know that the option of just facing me, or facing the attacker who has a sword, is just stupid. He will cut you up, he will cut you up badly, he will take off your fingers. It's just not a good thing to do. But Peter told me a good story from, it was New York, I think, yeah, in McDonald's. There was some interesting people that thought eating meat is very bad, with the words of "cow is my brother," right? And they basically went into McDonald's with machetes. There were 3 or 4 of them. And now let's take a look at 2 people. The first one was a person who tried to go against the machete guys, and he got cut very badly, right away, across the arm. So he didn't end well. But there was a girl who just hid behind the table, and they completely missed her. They didn't even saw her, she survived. We're not saying that this is the best thing you should do, but like, goddammit, she survived, and so she didn't face the guy with machete face to face. Of course, there's a difference between I know how to use the tactical thinking and how to just blindly go against someone because I think I have judo experience and I will just throw them. Like, of course not. You need to use something like being behind the tables, being behind the corners, shorter distance a little bit. It's the same thing as we were showing with active shooter. You don't want to be just looking at him straight. Like, if there's a guy with a shotgun, you don't want to be just in front of him looking at him like you're a psychopath or you want to die, I don't know. You should definitely not do it. You need to use corners, something before you, like obstacles. That's the way to treat these weapons. Let's say you cannot do all the steps that we just showed you, and you're in the worst scenario out of all of these. You're facing the swordsman or the guy who has a sword, and you will have to fight with your bare hands. We will show you how to do it, but we are not saying it's easy, that you will not get cut. Those are nonsense. You will get cut, it will hurt, and there's a big chance that it will fail. And without training, like, of course, at all. So basically, if we really want to go into this, if I would be trying to step through, the thing you can do is try to get the sword out and now close the distance. Yes, I can change the blade a little bit, I can fake and go the other way. Of course, if you can try and grab it, I will just pull and your fingers are out. If you really want to close the distance, because I am making this, just sacrifice one of your hands and now you can fight. And do things. But like, it's not like we're giving you, this is how you do it and you will survive. Like, of course, like, we are still talking, goddammit, about the sword versus person with nothing. And you are in the situation when you just have to. Like, this is the best option, but is it a life-saving option? If you will train it 1,000 times and you will understand the situation, yes. But even then you can get cut badly. It's It's just a complicated subject. So if you believe in YouTube videos that do this and you're fine, it's probably not really true. To give you a good idea, grab something like a poster. Definitely don't try this with like wooden. It's better than with the real sword, of course, but even this, it will break your fingers, it's not fun. So take something that is very, very soft and it will not hurt you. Try one thing. Try the first thing of just grabbing the sword in motion. So something like this. Okay, I don't have my arms anymore. It will give you a good idea of, if you've seen the videos, catch like, try it. So the second one you should try is like we showed you the step to you with a poster. Okay, but I did get hit, it's not like clean. Great. That will hurt. So, it looks good in all the videos, of course, but like then if you try it, it will give you very good feedback. Like in the first one it worked, but in the second one he just changed a little bit and now my leg is missing. Great. Third, try to do what we showed you is closing the distance and hitting. Okay, let's try again. It's not as easy as it looks, always. If you will try it, it's very fun, but it will give you a good feedback of, okay, probably it's not a good idea, I should do this. Always the steps before, like we showed you, the tactical, the shield, will be better than facing him. But if you have to, these are a couple of options you can use. Now if you would do exactly the same thing, think something that is very light, very soft, and try to do the things that we showed you before. Try the shield, try running around the objects, and this will give you like the immediate feedback of, okay, like this is a lot easier than what I did before. It will. Or try something like, I will first throw something to his face, and then I will attack, and I will get inside. It will give you a very good perspective of, is then a good idea to just fight with him? Or should I use the tactical advantage? You will see that it makes it, even if you are not trained, like 10 times easier, of course. What you see in this video is we are not saying that fighting a sword is easy, definitely not, but it is possible. That's the important thing here. Like facing sword face to face, even if you are well trained, still the chances of surviving are slim, very slim, and still you will get cut even if you do beat the guy and survive. But then we showed you how you should train correctly, not focusing that much of I need to fight with him, but how can I increase my chances? How can I use the cars, doors, stairs? What can I throw at him? If you are training like this, then congratulations, this is how you should be training and how you should be thinking about self-defense. It's not always about face-to-face fight. This is not a match, this is not boxing fight, this is real, this is for my life. So I will have to use everything in my power to get the advantage on my side. Comment if you want to see other weapons that Peter can run through our lab in SORUDO, what other ideas you have, because options are limitless, from shurikens to basically anything. If you want to see it, let us know in the comments, like the video if you really did enjoy, and subscribe to see even more videos like this. Fantasize, think about all of these things, it's fun, it's good for training to turn off a little bit, and it will give you some good feedback on what fighter you are. So definitely thanks for watching till the very end, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.